आज के इस एपिसोड में पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल विश्वविद्यालय के भूतपूर्व अध्यक्ष एवं प्राध्यापक प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के जीवन की कुछ कही अनकही प्रस्तुतिकरण उनके कृतित्व व्यक्तित्व के संदर्भ में प्रस्तुत किया जा रहा है। उनके इस सृजनात्मक एपिसोड में उपस्थित सभी भूगोलवेताओं का मैं हार्दिक अभिनंदन और स्वागत करती हूँ। सभी शोध छात्र छात्राओं का हार्दिक अभिनंदन एवं स्वागत है। आज के इस एपिसोड में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात इनकी प्रस्तुतकर्ता प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की पुत्री अर्चना सिंह है, डॉक्टर अर्चना सिंह है, जो छत्तीसगढ़ में अंग्रेजी की सहायक प्राध्यापक भी है। मैं उनका भी स्वागत करती हूं और आभार व्यक्त करती हूं कि उन्होंने अपने पारिवारिक दृष्टिकोण के आधार पर प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के जीवन के कृतित्व और व्यक्तित्व भावनाओं को बहुत ही सुंदर तरीके से पारिवारिक दृष्टिकोण से प्रस्तुत करने के लिए अपनी सहमति दी। मैं उनका हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ और अपने इस स्वागत अभिव्यक्ति को यहीं पर विराम देते हुए मैं आप सभी को धन्यवाद देती हूँ कि आपने मुझे स्वागत के लिए आमंत्रित किया। थैंक यू सर। नमस्कार सर।
Thank you so much, Dr.
Madam Convener,
for your warm welcome.
Madam Convener, I have one request. We have Professor P.R. Vyas with us on the screen, and he has just returned from USA after his months long stay there. And he has requested me to please give 2-3 minutes of time before 5:30, because he has to go somewhere else. But he is so affectionate to us that he is with us and requested that after his observation and remarks, he will leave us for today. So, Madam, with the permission of the President, I have to request you that before inviting the main speaker, you should invite Professor P.R. Vyas for 2-3 minutes for his remarks.
Yes, sir. So with due permission and request from our President of the session today, Professor Rana P.V. Singh, sir, may I request Vyas sir to please give his
Rana P.V.
comments.
Singh. Hello, Madam Convener. I am Professor Rana Pratap, not Rana P.V. Singh, first of all.
Sorry.
I am very happy.
Rana Pratap, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I am very happy to see Professor P.R. Vyas Sahab. He is very lovely, very affectionate, very acceptable. So, it is a nice occasion.
Sir.
And yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, extremely sorry, sir. Yes.
So, you will be happy to listen
our
him.
President of the session, Rana.
Yeah. So please,
Professor P.R. Vyas, sir.
Yes, please. Good afternoon, everyone. And especially, I am very much thankful to Professor D.P. Singh, who providing this opportunity to interact in this particular prestigious session. And I am also grateful to all the members associated with this series, that time to time I used to engage and join this program. And really, we have been watching since last 4 years, and we are completing this series, I think, 4th year in the month of June coming. And I think today's guest, Professor Shukla and Professor Chauhan, he is the convener of this program. Dr. Archana ji, Dr. Sharda Sharma ji, and other members, those who are associated with this program. I would like to request you when you are completing fourth year of this series, Founders and Makers of Modern Geography of India. Really, it's a wonderful program. We have been watching everything, and you have covered lot of universities and lot of contribution of the professors, those who served this our discipline from long back. Now, I would like to propose that our Udaipur city is ready to organize the program of this fourth year's completion in the month of June here. So we will declare our venue and program, and just we will send a proposal to the DP Singh Sahab, and I hope that we will organize in proper way with the full support of all of you, and you will be joining here, and we are ready to welcome in Udaipur in the month of June on 27th. I think the proposed date is like this, and but we will declare this venue and other scheduled program shortly, and we will discuss, because today I discussed whole program with Professor DP Singh sir, and I suggested something that when we organize such series and such program, so we get all the idea about the contribution of the professor, those we are talking about all these things, so that we can talk about his contribution with the in the special field, like those who are working in human geography, geomorphology, urban geography. So the professor can be invited in that particular field, so they can cover a lot of things about that contribution. I think I would like to propose this thing also. So next time, first we get the that idea about his contribution, and somebody will cover all that thing. So that should be relevant in that particular series, and I hope I that program will be going on, and I will be leaving somewhere because I have to join one program there, and all the best and providing this opportunity. I am very much thankful to Professor DP Singh Saab, Madam Chauhan, and we will be talking in time to time. And let's have a coordination committee also. So sometime we can organize a coordination committee meeting, so we can talk about all this line of action for the future also. Thank you very much. Thank you. So nice of you. Thank you. Thank you, Rana Sab. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Much, Professor Vyas, sir, Madam
Sir.
Convener, and Honorable President. Today, our friend PR Vyas
Sir.
has given me a proposal that if we are going to complete the fourth year of this online series of lecture series of on modern geography in India, uh, he invite us in Udaipur to organize the fifth anniversary of our series in uh, offline mode. So I have told that we shall be talking to our senior members, and then we shall decide it. So after this episode, we shall decide. We after consultation with Professor Rana Pratap, Madam Chauhan, and several other senior colleagues, we shall decide about the proposal which Professor Vyas has given to us for the offline meeting,
Yeah.
physical meeting of
Yeah.
the fifth anniversary, that is on the completion of the fourth years
For
of our journey.
4 years.
So,
Yes.
sir, we are very much thankful to you. We
Thank
shall
you.
be talking it,
Sir,
and I
already,
hope.
sir, already I have talked to that convener and organizing committee. Today we discussed, but formally something we have to get the permission from the Honorable Vice Chancellor and their concern also. So everything is finalized, but some formalities are there. So we will declare venue and other things. So I am very much thankful, Professor DP Singh sir, and you are welcome here in Udaipur city in the month of June on 27th on offline program first. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. We shall
Thank you.
be there, certainly. Uh, now, Madam Convener, go ahead with our original schedule.
So I beg to leave, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Vyas, sir. With due permission of our president.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मैडम, सबसे मिलकर के, और सब ये प्रोग्राम, ये अवसर मुझे दे रहे हैं, ये इनकी महानता है। मैंने तुरंत इस प्रोग्राम को पिकअप किया, मैंने कहा सर हमें दो अवसर, हम करिए, उदयपुर को आना सबके लिए अच्छा रहेगा और सब अच्छा सा करेंगे, है ना। थैंक यू सर।
नहीं, धन्यवाद पंत साहब, आपने ये ऑफर दिया, बहुत अच्छा लगा। हम लोग सोच रहे हैं, सोचेंगे
आइएगा, सब आइएगा, सब
इसी बहाने आपके यहाँ चले, आपको देखें वहाँ।
यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम सर। पहले प्रोग्राम हुए हैं और अच्छा ही होगा, सब अच्छा होगा, आप सबका सहयोग चाहिए। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू,
थैंक यू, सो नाइस ऑफ यू, थैंक यू।
So, madam, come to the scheduled program.
Yes, sir. With permission from our president of. My voice is having echo.
Okay, nice. That's okay.
Okay. So I would like to introduce Dr. Archana Singh, madam. She is an assistant professor and head, Department of English, Anu Pratap Dev Government Postgraduate College, North Bastar Kanke. She has been teaching English language and literature of undergraduate and postgraduate students for the last 27 years. She has published more than 30 scholarly papers in national and international and refereed journals and has published 2 books. Madam has presented a number of papers at various national and international conferences, seminars and webinars. Madam has also presented a paper in an international conference held in South Africa. She has also prepared a module for e-Pathshala. The area of interest is English grammar. Madam, we are pleased to have you here of the section of your third father, Professor. Please start with this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, welcome, for this introduction. And I'm very much thankful to Dr. Sarla Sharma. We used to call her Sarla Didi, and she has given a very beautiful introduction. And I'm very much overwhelmed and emotional because today is 58th episode of the modern Indian geographer. And this episode is dedicated to my father. And really, I am very much overwhelmed and emotional. And I thank all the uh, all the participants, all the geographers, scholars, and all the dignitaries present here. And thank you very much for selecting my father for today's episode. So before I start, um, I want to know whether I am visible or not. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
मेरी
Yes,
आवाज
madam, you're
आ
audible.
रही है एंड स्लाइड्स
Yes,
भी
you're
दिख रही
audible.
हैं? ओके.
Yes, yes.
So today this episode has been dedicated to my father, founders and makers of modern geography in India. Professor Shankar Rai was former professor and head School of Studies in Geography, Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. And for the sake of presentation, I have divided my presentation into some points. So it will be easy for me to tell everything about my father. First of all, born and brought up. Dr. Roy was born in Ara city of Bihar on 18th June 1932 in a landlord family. Later, in the year 1947, his family shifted to Ambikapur, Sarguja, Chhattisgarh. The name of his village in Bihar is Chilbila, near Dehri on Son, Rohtas district in Bihar. When we talk about his parents, Dr. Roy's father's name was Shri Ramdeni Roy and mother's name was Srimati Kamla Devi. His father marched on foot in search of a job and reached to Ambikapur. In Ambikapur, he got a job as the manager of a printing press of Maharaja of Sarguja state. That time, Sarguja was a state. Later on, his father established a printing press of his own, Shri Arvind Press, now known as New Arvind Press. His father settled down there permanently and purchased 90 acres of agricultural land in Taparkela village. And this village is 20 kilometers away from Ambikapur. Dr. Roy has one brother, Shri Madhav Roy, and four sisters, Mrs. Suman Singh, Mrs. Sunandini Khatri, Mrs. Susha Tomar, and Mrs. Pushpa Tomar. Shri Madhav Roy is a renowned businessman in Ambikapur and owner of the printing press, New Arvind Press. All sisters of Dr. Roy are well educated and well settled in their lives. Education. Dr. Roy's primary education was held in Chilbila, Bihar. He had completed his high school education from Multipurpose Higher Secondary School, Ambikapur. He completed his BA in Geography Honours in the year 1951 from Patna University, Patna, Bihar. He did MA in 1954 from Sagar University, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. He obtained his PhD degree under the able supervision of Professor Adya Sharan Singh from Bihar University, Muzaffarnagar. He was a very hardworking and sincere student since his childhood. Dr. Roy was married to Mrs. Keshni Roy. Mrs. Roy belonged to the royal family of Kharagad state. Mrs. Roy was niece of King Virendra Bahadur Singh, king of the princely state of Kharagad, Chhattisgarh. Dr. Roy was the father of five children. Late Miss Anita, who was born in 1952, late Shri Anil Roy, born in 1954, Shri Arvind Roy, born in 1962, Dr. Kavita Singh, born in 1966, and the youngest one, Dr. Archana Singh, myself, born in 1968. Dr. Kavita Singh is in economics and Dr. Archana Singh is in English, are presently assistant professors in the government colleges of Chhattisgarh.
Madam, your slides are not moving. Please,
Not
can
moving.
you? Yeah.
Okay. Now, now,
Yes, madam. Yes.
okay. So when we talk about his career, Professor Shankar Roy has the credit of starting Department of Geography at SBR College, Bilaspur in the year 1958, presently known as Government J.P. Verma Arts and Commerce College, Bilaspur. He joined Department of Higher Education of Government of Madhya Pradesh in the year 1959. He served many reputed colleges of then Madhya Pradesh. He joined Department of Higher Education of Government of Madhya Pradesh in the year 1959. Firstly, he worked in Robertson College, Jabalpur. Robertson College, Jabalpur is now known as Mahakaushal College. From 1959 to 1964. Then he worked in Government College, Tikamgarh in the year 1964. Government TRS College, Riva. He worked there from 1964 to 1965. In the year 1965, he joined Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur. In the year 1988, he assumed the charge of the head of the Department of Geography in Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur. His predecessor was Professor P.C. Agrawal, a well-known scholar of geography. Professor Roy remained head of the department till his retirement in September 1993. Afterwards, Professor H.S. Gupta became the head of the department. Now, I will talk about his research interest. Professor Roy's fields of interest were agricultural land use, rural and tribal nutrition, and population geography. Professor Roy completed a research project on agricultural land use, availability of food and nutrition in tribal villages in Chhattisgarh in 1985. Professor Roy organized a national seminar on tribal situation in India in 1990, which was sponsored by the Commissioner Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes, Government of India. Professor, sorry, Professor Shankar Roy had an interest in agricultural land use and planning. Farming was his hobby. It might have been due to the fact that, firstly, his background was agrarian, and secondly, he was an expert of land use and agricultural geography. He was so fond of farming that during his service period, he had developed a kitchen garden in his government quarters. Total 8 candidates have completed their thesis for doctoral degree under the supervision of Professor Shankar Roy. Professor Roy's PhD was on land use in Upper Mahanadi Basin under the supervision of Professor Adya Sharan Singh from Bihar University, Muzaffarnagar, and awarded to him in 1963. His work was based on the village-wise average land use figures for the years 1966 to 67, 1967 to 68, and 1968 to 1969. He calculated the efficiency of land use and divided them into four categories. 6 villages have been selected for a detailed studies. Data and information were collected from each of these villages for the preparation of the crop combination regions. It had been observed that agricultural practices in the basin are in primitive state, yields are low, and farm animals are poor. His first research scholar was Dr. Manju Rai. Now she became Dr. Manju Mitra. Was Professor Roy's first research scholar. She was awarded doctoral degree in 1976. The topic of her research was agricultural geography of the Chhattisgarh basin. In her studies, she has made a detailed discussion of the existing land use, cropping patterns, and agricultural methods and techniques of the Chhattisgarh basin. Her research work was based on the average figures of the consecutive years 1971 to 1973. 9 sample villages were selected from each agricultural region for the detailed study. Dr. Awadh Ramchandrakar was Professor Roy's second research scholar. He was awarded doctoral degree in 1979. The topic of his research was agriculture and nutrition in Raipur district of Madhya Pradesh. His research was based on the average figures of 3 consecutive years from 1972 to 1974. Revenue inspectors' circles were the basic units of his studies. 7 villages were selected for the intensive study. High average of land use efficiency was found around Mahanadi Plain. The district has adequate agricultural potentialities to ensure at least a minimum level of nutrition to people over the next 20 years. Dr. Manju Mitra, who completed his research under Dr. Roy, was retired as PG principal from Bilaspur. And Dr. Awadh Ramchandrakar was the Vice Chancellor of Pandit Sundarlal Sharma University. Now, third research scholar of Mrs. Kamlini Srivastav. She is an assistant professor in Odisha. Had also completed her doctoral dissertation under the supervision of Professor Roy in the year 1985. The topic of her research was Shivnath Basin, a study in resource geography. The aim of this study was to assess the resources of the Shivnath Basin and also to analyze their utilization and to search their probable developments. It has been observed that there is possibilities of the development of mineral-based industries in the basin. The northwestern forest and hilly regions of the basin are a low developed area, while the middle east part of the basin is highly industrialized and developed. Now, after that, Mrs. Anusuya Verma, now she became Dr. Anusuya Baghel. She was professor and head in geography in Pandit Ravishankar University. She did her research work for the doctoral degree under the supervision of Professor Shankar Roy in 1989. The topic of her research was population geography of Shivnath Basin. The aim of the study was to analyze the various characteristics of the human population and to divide the Shivnath Basin into population regions. The study is based on the census data of 1951, 1961, and 1971. Patwari circles were the units of the study. The pressure of population on land resources has been relieved to some extent due to high industrialization of the region. Particularly, the establishment of Bhilai steel plant has affected the distribution of the population of that region. Dr. Kalpana Lambe, she is an assistant professor in Government TV Girls College, Raipur. She has also done PhD under Dr. Roy in the year 1992. Her topic was the changing patterns of agricultural land use and levels of nutrition in Raipur district. The study is based on Revenue Inspectors Circle wise data of years 1974 to 1976 and 1984. The data were collected from the land records offices. It has been observed that during the last decade of area, and the forest has been reduced by 1.16%, and net sown area has increased by 4.28% due to pressure of the increased population. Population geography of Bastar Plateau. This was the topic of the doctoral research of Dr. Amrit Lal Patel, and he was awarded in 1993. The study analyzes various characteristics of the people of Bastar Plateau so that the tribal district can be properly developed. The study is based on various census publications. Migration plays a major role in the growth of population of the district. Population growth is not the problem of this district, but the superimposition of migrants on the tribal population may become problematic in future. Dr. Ramashar Singh has also done his PhD under Professor Roy and awarded in 1993. The topic of his research was planning for resource development in southern Chhattisgarh, a geographical approach. The study is based on block level secondary data. This study is an assessment of important resources of the southern Chhattisgarh with a special reference to their present use and future prospects. The southern Chhattisgarh has been divided into 6 resource regions. He recommended that the forest and mineral resources of the region can be exploited after the development of transport network in the region. Dr. Jyotsna Sharma, she is the last one who has completed his PhD under my father. She is also an assistant professor in DB Girls PG College, Raipur, and she has been awarded with this degree in 1994. Topic was socio-economic condition and level of nutrition in slums of Raipur city. It is based on the primary data collected through an interview schedule. 20% families of each selected slum have been taken into account. Rapid urbanization and industrialization are responsible for the growth of slum. Low economic status affected the dietary habits, which resulted in the state of undernutrition and malnutrition in the study area. His life after retirement. Professor Shankar Roy was retired in September 1993. He had been served to the Higher Education Department of Erstwhile Madhya Pradesh for 44 years. Agriculture was his first and foremost hobby. Hence, after the retirement, he had settled in his village, Tapakela, 20 kilometers far from Ambikapur, his hometown. Here, he started to apply his knowledge of agricultural science and developed a good farming economy. He also started plantation farming of sugar cane on a vast tract of his land. In this way, he not only generated a post retirement engagement for himself, but also applied his theoretical knowledge of land use and generated employments for many others. Professor, if we talk about as a teacher, Professor Shankar Roy was a very sincere and devoted teacher. He was a fine orator. His concepts were clear and he always gave a theoretical orientation to his students. If we talk about as a human being, he was a very nice human being. He was always ready to help everyone. He was punctual in his duties, laborious in habits, transparent in relations, committed to his duties, sensible in feelings, open minded in action, and a kind hearted gentleman. He had a very cheerful and handsome personality. To conclude, I can say Professor Shankar Roy was a committed geographer, a pioneer researcher, and a great scholar of his time. He had carried out original researches. He had also guided his students for original and applied studies. He was also an applied agricultural scientist and implemented his knowledge of land use and agriculture in practice. He spent his retired life, though very short, in agricultural practices on his own vast tract of land in his village. Hence, he was a real agricultural scientist and an applied land use planner. While working in the field of his farmhouse Taparkela, he had a massive heart attack and he left his body for the heavenly abode on 26th February 1993. He will always be remembered for his sincerity, for his hard work, for his honesty, and for his bold personality. And personally, if I say, a very loving father. He had been working until his last breath. So I want to dedicate these 4 lines to my Papa, which have been written by Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan has very beautifully uh, translated these lines. गहन सघन मनमोहक वन मुझको आज बुलाते हैं, किंतु किए जो वादे मैंने याद मुझे आ जाते हैं. अभी कहाँ आराम बदा, यह नेह निमंत्रण चलना है. अरे अभी सोने से पहले मुझको मिलो चलना है. अरे अभी सोने से पहले मुझको मिलो चलना है. Thank you very much.
Namaste, Dr. Archana Singh, madam. We are really touched and क्या बोले मतलब बहुत ही हिल गया आपका इतना अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन. बहुत ही literally we have no words to express our feelings today because we are blessed to have the beloved daughter of Professor Shankar Roy sir as a speaker on this platform, which is very rare thing on these platforms to happen. And the way you have presented the entire scenario right from his birth till his last breath is marvelous, covering each and every minor aspect of his growth and career and contribution in the academics and research, which is enormous and marvelous. Thank you so much, Dr. Archana Madam, for accepting our request as a speaker. We are really blessed to have you here on our platform and request you to be there always throughout in the coming episodes too. And we seek blessings from Professor Shankar Roy sir to give our best to this universe in every possible way that we can. Thank you so much for being
Thank
there
you.
with us. Thanks a lot.
I'm very much thankful to Dr. देवेंद्र प्रसाद सिंह जी. पता नहीं कहाँ से इन्होंने मुझे खोज निकाला. And always he talks about my father. And he is the one जिन्होंने मुझे ज्योग्राफी से जोड़ कर रखा है. देखिए मेरा जो ब्रेड एंड बटर है दैट इज इंग्लिश, लेकिन ब्लड में तो ज्योग्राफी ही दौड़ता है. तो आई फील ऑलवेज very much connected with geography people, really. And today, many things I also did not know about my father. My uncle, my Chachaji, Sri Madhavarayaji, uh, he has given me the information, and also Dr. Manju Mitra and Dr. Salar Sharma has prepared this. And really, I'm very much thankful that after 30 years, now it's been 30 years, and you people are remembering my father. Really, I am very much touched, and I will never forget this gesture of all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, Dr. Archana Singh. This entire credit we owe to Professor Rana Pratap sir and Dr. Devendra Prasad Singh sir for initiating this particular concept of introducing the founders and makers of modern geographers in India. And so all of us throughout the country, not only throughout the country, but throughout the world, are now realizing the great wealth and treasure that's in the form of research and academics that this our forefathers in the form of geographers have given to this country and to the society. So thank you, Devendra Singh sir and Professor Rana Pratap Singh sir, for having this excellent concept, And I'm sure definitely other subjects also would be following this. Ours is a milestone and a golden start. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
मैं
Thank you, Archana.
राणा प्रताप सर जी को प्रणाम करती हूँ.
Ma'am. Okay, with permission of our president, Professor Rana Pratap sir, I would now like to request our guest of honor, Professor Sarla Sharma madam, to please say a few words.
Yeah.
Professor Sarla madam, please.
हेलो हेलो
Yes, madam, you are audible, but there is echo.
ओके नमस्कार मैं प्रोफेसर सरला शर्मा रिटायर्ड प्रोफेसर पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल विश्वविद्यालय भूगोल अध्ययनशाला आज आपके समक्ष प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के संबंध में अपनी भावनात्मक व्यक्तिगत और भूगोलविदों के दृष्टिकोण से सहयोगी शिक्षक के दृष्टिकोण से अपनी अभिव्यक्ति प्रस्तुत करने का प्रयास करूंगी। अभी अभी आपने प्रोफेसर सरला शंकर राय सर की सबसे छोटी पुत्री अर्चना सिंह के द्वारा प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के व्यक्तित्व और कृतित्व को पारिवारिक संदर्भ में और उनके कृतित्व के संदर्भ में, उनके शोध कार्य के संदर्भ में बहुत ही भावनात्मक और मार्मिक रूप से अभिव्यक्ति को सुना। मैं प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की क्लब की छात्रा नहीं रही हूँ, परंतु जब से मैं उनके सानिध्य में आई हूँ एज ए शोध छात्रा के रूप में या उनके सहयोगी कर्मी के रूप में, मैं उनके व्यक्तित्व और उनके कृतित्व से हमेशा प्रभावित रही हूँ और आज मैं उन्हीं सभी तथ्यों को विभिन्न पॉइंट से आपके समक्ष प्रस्तुत करने का प्रयास करूंगी कि प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर जहाँ एक शाही परिवार से ताल्लुक करते थे और रहते थे, तो उनके व्यक्तित्व में भी उनकी रॉयल्टी जो है शाही परिवार की आन बान शान बड़े ही स्पष्ट रूप से परिलक्षित होती थी। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के जन्म से लेकर उनके पूरे पारिवारिक वातावरण को अभी आपने डॉक्टर अर्चना सिंह के द्वारा सुना। मेरा शंकर राय सर से जो साक्षात्कार या दर्शन जो हुआ वो 1977 में हुआ। मेरी पूरी पढ़ाई यद्यपि बिलासपुर गर्ल्स कॉलेज में हुई और वहाँ जो मैडम मित्रा थी वो हमेशा मुझे हमारे क्लास में प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के बारे में अपनी जानकारी देती थी और उनके रॉयल नेचर को भी हम लोग के सामने प्रस्तुत करती थी। इन्हीं सभी का प्रभाव जो है वह मेरे मन में पड़ा था और मैं उनसे मिलने की बहुत ही उत्सुक रहती थी। यद्यपि मैडम बोलती थी कि शंकर राय सर जो हैं वो सभी से नहीं मिलते और बहुत ही यद्यपि सरल हैं, बहुत व्यवहारिक हैं, परंतु उनकी पर्सनालिटी से सभी कोई भयभीत रहते थे। इसके बाद भी मुझे हमेशा प्रोफेसर शंकर राय से मिलने की इच्छा बनी रहती थी। आदरणीय प्रोफेसर शंकर राय से मेरा पहला परिचय 1977 में हुआ, जब मैं शोध कार्य के लिए पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल विश्वविद्यालय के भूगोल अध्ययनशाला में गई और जब मेरा प्रोफेसर आदरणीय पीसी अग्रवाल सर के अंडर पर शोध पंजीयन हुआ और इस प्रकार मैं सबसे पहले प्रोफेसर शंकर राय को 1977 में साक्षात दर्शन किया। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर की पर्सनालिटी, उनका व्यवहार, उनके राजकीय परिवार की झलक उनके व्यक्तित्व में स्पष्ट दिखाई देती थी। विभाग में प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की आवाज, उनका व्यक्तित्व छात्र हमेशा भयभीत भी रहते थे और उनके समक्ष आने से डरते भी थे, परंतु मुझे उनके इस व्यक्तित्व में कहीं भी भय दिखाई नहीं देता था। मैं हमेशा जब भी वो मेरे सामने आते मैं हमेशा उनको नमस्कार करती थी, परंतु सर के अपने व्यक्तित्व में सर कभी भी मुझे देखते जरूर थे परंतु उसका उत्तर नहीं देते थे। सभी ने मुझसे कहा कि सर आंसर नहीं देते हैं, आप बार बार उनको नमस्कार मत कीजिए, परंतु मैंने अपना उपाय या कहना चाहिए अपना वर्क को नहीं छोड़ा और जब भी शंकर राय सर मेरे सामने आते थे मैं खड़े होकर उनको बकायदा उनको विश करती थी और इस तरह से मुझे धीरे धीरे प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के व्यक्तित्व को देखने का और समझने का अवसर प्राप्त हुआ और अंत में मैं प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के व्यक्तित्व के सम्मुख अपने आप को बहुत ही भाग्यशाली समझती थी कि मुझे उनका सानिध्य प्राप्त हुआ। मेरा शोध कक्ष एमए पूर्व की कक्षा के सामने होता था और जब भी प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर पढ़ाने के लिए आते थे तो उनके विद्वत्पूर्ण व्याख्यान मेरे कानों में गूंजते थे और मैं सब काम छोड़कर उनका व्याख्यान बड़े तन्मयता से अपने कक्ष में बैठकर सुनती थी। उनका व्याख्यान ही उनका पूर्ण परिचय होता था। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर अपने विषय के प्रति उनका कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत ही अधिक था, जिसके कारण पूरे क्लास में विद्यार्थी उनके पीरियड में 100% उपस्थित होते थे और उनके लेक्चर को बड़े ही गंभीरता से सुनते थे। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर का यद्यपि सबसे अधिक इंटरेस्ट कृषि भूगोल में था, इसके अलावा संसाधन भूगोल में भी और पॉपुलेशन ज्योग्राफी में भी वे रुचि रखते थे, परंतु कृषि भूगोल और भूमि उपयोग उनका एक प्रिय सब्जेक्ट था। उन्होंने अपने शोध कार्य को भी इसी में किया, कृषि उपयोग में ही, और अपने शोध छात्रों को भी कृषि उपयोग और कृषि में पोषण स्तर और साथ में जनसंख्या भूगोल पर भी वर्क कराया। इस प्रकार प्रोफेसर शंकर राय बहुमुखी प्रतिभा के धनी थे। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय का केवल विषय में ही नहीं बल्कि सर्वेक्षण में भी विशिष्टीकरण था। आपका यह विशिष्टीकरण हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ के भूगोल के छात्र छात्राओं के लिए एक आदर्श मॉडल माना जाता है। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय का डंपी लेवर और थ्योरैट में जो विशेषता थी, वह विशेषता आज उनके छात्र छात्राएं छत्तीसगढ़ के ही नहीं बल्कि मध्य प्रदेश के भी विभिन्न महाविद्यालयों में स्थापित होकर उसको बांट रहे हैं और उनको बहुत ही भावनापूर्ण रूप से उनको सम्मानित रूप से याद करते हैं। आज जो भी सर्वेक्षण के विद्यार्थी हैं वो सर्वेक्षण के पहले प्रोफेसर शंकर राय को याद करना नहीं भूलते। वे बाकायदा उनका नाम लेकर अपने सर्वेक्षणकार को बताते हैं कॉलेजों में कि सर ने हमको ऐसा पढ़ाया था। इस प्रकार प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के विद्यार्थी को उनके सर्वेक्षण का एक नया मार्गदर्शन प्रोफेसर शंकर राय द्वारा प्राप्त हुआ, जो आज भी कॉलेजों में स्थापित है। आप छात्र हॉस्टल के वार्डन भी रहे। आपका अनुशासित और दबंगता पूरे विश्वविद्यालय में प्रसिद्ध था। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय कब कैसे छात्र वार्डन में चले जाते, किस समय चले जाते, किसी छात्र को पता नहीं चलता था और वे दबंगता से पूरे छात्र को संभालते थे, उनको अनुशासित करते थे। सर की इस दबंगता और इससे न केवल छात्र प्रभावित थे बल्कि अनुशासित भी होते थे। आप समय समय पर शोध छात्राओं के कक्ष में भी जाते थे और वहां पर सभी शोध छात्राओं को जल्दी से शोध कार्य करने के लिए उत्साहित करते थे, उत्प्रेरित करते थे। उनके इस उत्प्रेरणा से का मुख्य उद्देश्य यही रहता था कि आप अपना समय बर्बाद मत करो, जितना जल्दी हो सके आप अपना शोध कार्य करो और किसी आर्थिक क्रियाओं में संलग्न हो, अपने आप को आर्थिक रूप से सबल बनाओ। उनके इस उत्प्रेरणा से सभी शोध छात्र जो हैं वह क्रियाशीलता में जुट जाते थे, जिसमें हम भी थे। और हम लोग को शोध कार्य में जब वो देखते थे कि हम लोग सुबह 9 बजे से आके 5 बजे जाते हैं तो बहुत ही खुश भी होते थे और कहते थे हाँ जल्दी करो और ऐसे करोगे तो जल्दी ही तुम्हारा शोध कार्य पूरा होगा। इस प्रकार हर तरह से हर किसी को प्रोफेसर शंकर राय उत्प्रेरित करते थे, उत्साहित करते थे। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय का व्यक्तित्व बहुत ही आकर्षक और खुश मिजाजी था। आप हमेशा बहुत ही खुश मिजाज रूप में कार्य करते थे। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की इस खुश मिजाजी में मैं अपना कुछ शेयर करना चाहूंगी कि जब 1989 में प्रोफेसर शंकर राय विभागाध्यक्ष बन चुके थे और एमफिल का जब बैच आया तो प्रोफेसर शंकर राय ने एक नया ही प्लान किया, योजना बनाई कि सभी एमफिल के स्टूडेंट को फील्ड में ले जाकर सर्वे कराया जाए, उनको अपने से डाटा कलेक्शन ना कराया जाए और उन्हें प्राथमिक आंकड़ों को संकलन करने का प्रत्यक्ष साक्षात्कार दर्शन कराया जाए। और इस हेतु उन्होंने, चूंकि मैं उस समय लेक्चरर के रूप में विभाग में स्थापित हो चुकी थी, नियुक्त हो चुकी थी, इसलिए हम सब शिक्षक मिलकर ये प्रोग्राम में उनका सहयोग किया और वो बाकायदा पूरे एमफिल के विद्यार्थियों को शोध कार्य के डिजर्टेशन हेतु वहां पर छत्तीसगढ़ के विभिन्न गांव में ले गए और वहां उन्होंने सैंपल कराया। इस प्रकार प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के शोध में एक नई सोच, एक नई योजना विभाग में जुड़ी, जिसके तहत हर वर्ष एमफिल के विद्यार्थियों को शोध कार्य के डाटा कलेक्शन के लिए एक टॉपिक दिया जाता था और वहां उनको सर्वे के लिए विभाग के सभी शिक्षक कर्मचारी जाकर सर्वे कराते थे। यह प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की ही सोच थी कि विद्यार्थियों को जो ज्ञान है वो किताबी ना दिया जाए, सैद्धांतिक ना दिया जाए, उसमें व्यवहारिकता का होना बहुत ही आवश्यक है। और इसीलिए उनके इस दिशा निर्देश पर हमारा भूगोल अध्ययनशाला अंत तक, जब तक एमपी क्लास रहा, तब तक हम इस दिशा पर कार्य करते रहे और उनको याद करते रहे। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर की पकड़ मौलिक शोध कार्य में बहुत अधिक थी। वे मौलिक और व्यवहारिक अध्ययन के लिए हमेशा तत्पर रहते थे। वे एक व्यवहारिक कृषि वैज्ञानिक रहे। उन्होंने कृषि एवं भूमि उपयोग के ज्ञान को अपने निजी क्षेत्र में भी व्यवहार में प्रयुक्त किया। इसीलिए रिटायरमेंट के बाद शंकर राय सर जो हैं, जब अपने गांव में निवासित हुए तो उन्होंने पूरा ध्यान अपने गांव की कृषि पर लगाया और नई नई पद्धतियों से कृषि कार्य को करने की योजना बनाए। भूमि उपयोग के भी उन्होंने नए नए प्लानिंग किए और इस प्रकार उन्होंने अपने गांव में वास्तविक कृषि वैज्ञानिक के रूप में एक योजनाकार व्यक्तित्व को भी जन्म दिया। उन्होंने सेवानिवृत्ति के बाद भी अपने आप को इसी कृषि और भूमि उपयोग के कार्य में संलग्न रखे और आपने अपने गांव में सबसे पहले नई पद्धति से कृषि कार्य को नया आयाम दिया, नई दिशा दिया और वे गांव के लोगों के पास भी अपने इस कृषि पद्धति को रखते थे। उनका एक व्यवहारिक तरीका था जो वो चाहते थे कि सभी गांव के लोग इस नई पद्धति को अपनाएं और योजनाबद्ध रूप से अपने गांव में कृषि कार्य करें। और इसलिए वो अपने गांव में सबसे पहले उन्होंने गन्ने की खेती की शुरुआत भी की। अपने रॉयल नेचर के साथ वो अपने आप को इस कृषि कार्य में इतना अधिक व्यस्त रहते थे कि अपनी जीवन शैली को उन्होंने एक नया परिवर्तन दिया। आपके भूमि उपयोग के सैद्धांतिक ज्ञान का व्यवहारिक ज्ञान कई लोगों के लिए रोजगार का सृजनात्मक अवसर भी बना। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर एक सफल मार्ग निर्देशक रहे। यद्यपि उन्होंने 8 छात्र छात्राओं को पीएचडी कराया, जिसकी विस्तृत जानकारी डॉक्टर अर्चना सिंह ने अभी आपके सामने दी, परंतु मैं इसको एक शोध स्वरूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत कर रही हूँ कि जो 8 छात्र छात्राओं ने पीएचडी की उपाधि प्राप्त की, जिसमें 3 छात्रों ने तो जिसमें डॉक्टर मंजू सलिमित्रा, डॉक्टर अवराज चंद्राकर केवल कृषि और कृषि भूमि उपयोग पर तथा पोषण पर अध्ययन किया। इन्होंने ज्यादातर अपने शोध छात्रों को प्राथमिक आंकड़ों पर सैंपलिंग के आधार पर वर्क कराने में ज्यादा महत्व दिया और इसी तरह से बाद में आपने अपनी दिशा पॉपुलेशन ज्योग्राफी की ओर उन्मुख किया और आपने इसी तारतम्य में डॉक्टर अनसुईया बघेल और डॉक्टर अमृतलाल पटेल को जनसंख्या भूगोल पर शोध कार्य कराया। साथ ही आपने रिसोर्स ज्योग्राफी पर भी ध्यान दिया, क्योंकि रिसोर्स ज्योग्राफी भी आपका एक महत्वपूर्ण सब्जेक्ट था और जिसके कारण आपने कमलनी श्रीवास्तव को जो है रिसोर्स ज्योग्राफी पर शिवनाथ बेसिंग के एक स्टडी इन रिसोर्स ज्योग्राफी पर वर्क कराया और आपका यह वर्क भी जो है बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण रहा, जो भूगोल वेताओं के लिए नहीं बल्कि शोध छात्रों के लिए भी एक उपयोगी कार्य साबित हुआ। आपने रिसोर्स ज्योग्राफी के अलावा आपने अपने एक स्टूडेंट रामाशय सिंह को कृषि भूमि के उपयोग और पोषण स्तर के परिवर्तनों पर भी वर्क कराया। एक नया आपने सोच को यहाँ पर सामने लाया और यहाँ पर आपने सदर्न छत्तीसगढ़ पर आपने प्लानिंग फॉर रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट पर वर्क कराया और एक नया शोध कार्य को एक नई दिशा दी और इस तरह से आपने अपने रिसर्च को एक नई पहल की ओर या नई दिशा की ओर उन्मुख किया। अंत में आपकी जो लास्ट स्टूडेंट थी ज्योत्सना शर्मा, जिस पर आपने एक छोटे से एरिया रायपुर सिटी के स्लम एरिया को लेकर उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए आपने गंदी बस्तियों के सामाजिक आर्थिक दशाओं और पोषण के स्तर को देखने का प्रयास किया। इस प्रकार प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर अपने शोध की दिशा में बहुमुखी प्रतिभा के धनी रहे और वे समसामयिक विषयों को दृष्टिगत रखते हुए शोध कार्य का विषय चयन करते रहे और इस तरह से आपने एक शोध कार्य को नई दिशा प्रदान की। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के इस मौलिक शोध कार्य को आज भी छत्तीसगढ़ के सभी शोध छात्र छात्राएं याद करते हैं और उनके दिए गए दिशा निर्देश के आधार पर अपने वर्क को एक नई दिशा देने का प्रयास करते हैं। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय का जो अपना सब्जेक्ट था वो भी ऊपरी महानदी बेसिन में भूमि उपयोग था, जिसके जो मार्गदर्शक प्रोफेसर आद्या शरण थे, जो बिहार विश्वविद्यालय के अंतर्गत मुजफ्फरपुर में के प्राध्यापक और वहाँ के विभागाध्यक्ष भी रहे। आपके सानिध्य में रहते हुए प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर ने अपनी पर्सनालिटी को, अपने कृतित्व को बहुत ही व्यवहार में लाने का प्रयास किया और चूंकि प्रोफेसर आद्या शरण जो हैं वो उस समय के भूमि उपयोग सर्वेक्षण और नियोजन के विशेषज्ञ भी थे, जिनका प्रभाव प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के व्यक्तित्व पर, कृतित्व पर हमें स्पष्ट दिखाई देता है। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के जीवन में कई चेंजिंग पॉइंट आए, जिसमें उनके सबसे बड़ा चेंजिंग पॉइंट आया जब वो अपने एमए की डिग्री प्राप्त करके भूगोल विषय पर प्राध्यापक बने बिलासपुर के एसबीआर कॉलेज में। यद्यपि उस समय वो प्राइवेट कॉलेज था, आप वहाँ पर एक व्याख्याता के रूप में अध्यापन से जुड़े और वहाँ पर आपने अपने जीवन शैली को एक नई दिशा दी। इसके बाद आप 1959 में जब पीएचडी सिलेक्ट हुए तब आपने गवर्नमेंट कॉलेजों में भी, जिसमें आपका रावरशंकर जबलपुर, आप टीआरएस कॉलेज रीवा और टीकमगढ़ में भी आपने दिया। आपकी जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चेंजिंग पॉइंट थी जब आप 1965 में पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल विश्वविद्यालय के भूगोल विभाग में अध्यापक नियुक्त हुए। यहाँ के बाद आपने अपने कैरियर को एक नई दिशा दी। आपकी सोच, आपका कैरियर एक नई दिशा में आया। आप 1988 में प्रोफेसर पीसी अग्रवाल सर के रिटायरमेंट होने के बाद विभागाध्यक्ष का कार्य भी संभाला और सेवानिवृत्त सितंबर 1993 में आप विभागाध्यक्ष पद पर बने रहे। आपकी अपनी रुचि को आपने अपने क्षेत्र में डालने का पूरा प्रयास किया और लोगों को उसकी उपयोगिता भी बताते रहे। आपने 1985 में छत्तीसगढ़ के आदिवासी गांवों में भोजन और पोषण पर आपने नेशनल सेमिनार भी आयोजित किया। आपने इसके अलावा हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल के विद्यार्थियों के लिए एक पुस्तक भी लिखी, नवीन भूगोल, जो उस समय के भूगोल के विद्यार्थियों के लिए बहुत ही पॉपुलर सिद्ध हुई। आपका जो स्वरूप था अनुसंधान गतिविधियां, वह विश्वविद्यालय के लिए आज भी स्मरणीय रहेगा। आप अपने जीवन शैली में हमेशा जुड़ के संबद्ध होके रहे, इसलिए आप हमेशा एक गंभीर शिक्षक रहे। आप गंभीर शिक्षक के अलावा एक अच्छे वक्ता के रूप में भी भूगोल विभाग में जाने जाते हैं। आपकी अवधारणा की स्पष्टता हमेशा आपके छात्रों को आपका याद दिलाती रहती है। आप एक अच्छे इंसान के साथ साथ अपने कर्तव्यों के प्रति भी आप हमेशा निष्ठावान रहे। आप हमेशा समय को और अनुशासन को आपने बहुत ही महत्व दिया, जिसके कारण आपसे जुड़े सभी कर्तव्य कार्य अपनी समय अवधि में पूर्ण होते रहे। आप न केवल मेहनती थे, बल्कि पारदर्शी और कर्तव्यों के प्रति प्रतिबद्ध और समर्पित रहते थे। आपके खुले विचार, आपके दयालुतापन को आज भी वो विभाग के कर्मचारी, अधिकारी, शिक्षक और छात्र छात्राएं याद करते हैं। आपका खुशमिजाज व्यक्तित्व, आपका आकर्षण व्यक्तित्व, आपके व्यवहारिक स्वरूप को आज भी भूगोल अध्ययनशाला याद करता है। प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर एक प्रसिद्ध भूगोलवेत्ता के साथ साथ एक अच्छे शोधकर्ता भी थे। आपने भूगोल अध्ययनशाला को और छत्तीसगढ़ के भूगोल को जो कृषि ज्ञान का व्यवहारिक और सैद्धांतिक स्वरूप प्रस्तुत किया, वो आज भी भूगोल अध्ययनशाला के विद्यार्थी याद करते हैं। मैं प्रोफेसर शंकर राय सर के करीब यद्यपि बहुत कम रहे, फिर भी जितना भी रहे, मैं उनके व्यक्तित्व से हमेशा प्रभावित ही रही। इतने अधिक स्पष्ट वक्ता और इतने अधिक शोध निदेशक के संबंध में व्यवहारिक जानकारी देने वाले प्रोफेसर शंकर राय को मैं सत सत नमन करती हूँ। आप 20 फरवरी 1995 को हमारे बीच नहीं रहे। बहुत ही छोटी आयु में 73 ईयर्स में ही आप दिल के दौरे से हम इस दुनिया से, हम सब से विमुख हो गए। आपके इस निधन से न केवल छत्तीसगढ़ अपितु भारत के भी भूगोल को बहुत ही अधिक क्षति पहुंची है, मैं ऐसा महसूस करती हूँ। भूगोल अध्ययनशाला आज भी आपका ऋणी है, आपको याद करता है कि आपने उस भूगोल विभाग को इतना सब कुछ दिया, जो आज छत्तीसगढ़ के कोने कोने में शासकीय महाविद्यालयों में आपके जुड़े छात्र छात्राओं द्वारा प्रचारित हो रहे हैं। अंत में मैं इस आयोजक प्रोफेसर डीपी सिंह सर को और उनके पूरी टीम को आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूँगी, जिनके सफल क्रियान्वयन से आज मुझे और पूरे भूगोलवेताओं को प्रोफेसर शंकर राय के बारे में अंदर से अंदर और सूक्ष्म बातें मैं प्रोफेसर शंकर राय की पुत्री डॉक्टर अर्चना सिंह, सहायक प्राध्यापक की आभारी हूँ। मैं मंजू सलील मित्रा की आभारी हूँ, जिन्होंने मुझे प्रेरणा दी और मुझे बहुत सारी जानकारियाँ उपलब्ध कराई, जिसके द्वारा मैं प्रोफेसर शंकर राय को समझने में और उनके व्यक्तित्व को पहचानने में सक्षम हो सके। मैं अपने स्टूडेंट डॉक्टर सेन बहादुर की व्यवहारी हूँ, जिन्होंने इस लेख को तैयार करने में, पीपीटी बनाने में और इसको तैयार करने में मुझे सहयोग प्रदान किया। अंत में मैं पुनः इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजक और सभी भूगोलवेताओं की आभारी हूँ, जिन्होंने पूरे प्रेजेंस के साथ मेरे इस वक्तव्य को सुना और मुझे बोलने का मौका दिया। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarla Sharma, madam, for giving a detailed and minute aspects of Professor Shankar Roy, sir. Though you said that you have been associated for a very short time, but yet the pains which you have taken to research all the minute details of Professor Shankar Roy, sir, is tremendous. And it reflects how much he was interested in having field knowledge for the students as a geographer, which is very important. Besides his concern for students, for their development, though by his discipline is reflected, yet the aim behind is that they should flourish and develop in their life. Thank you so much, Sarla Madam, for presenting in detail all the minute aspects of Professor Shankar Roy sir, as well as acknowledging each and every one who have helped you in presenting this. Thank you, madam. Thank you
Thank you,
so
madam.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, madam.
Now I would like to invite our guest of honor, Professor Anuradha Sharma madam, Professor and former Head Department of Geography, University of Jammu. Professor Anuradha madam, please.
A very pleasant evening to all the learned guests who are here, and all professors, my seniors, and my contemporary geographers. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for having me here today as guest of honor on the 58th episode of online lecture series of founders and makers of modern geography in India. Uh, this lecture, which was devoted to one of the founders and makers of modern geography, Professor Shankar Roy, former professor and head School of Studies in Geography, Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, India. In fact, we in different gatherings of our learned geographers, we keep talking and, in fact, keep hearing about these learned professors. But this is one platform where we all come to know about all the academic, the social, and personal details of the learned geographers, and it really makes us proud that we are into an academic forum where we have had such legions of geography. Though I did not ever have any association, direct or indirect, with Professor Shankar Roy, but today, by listening to his learned daughter and Professor Sarla Sharma today, we came to know of so many aspects of his personality as a teacher, as a researcher, and as a human being. How he was interested into his scholars and students, and how he has instilled all the values which we expect from every teacher, and how he has shaped the life of his students and scholars, and impressed upon being punctual and very down to earth to be successful in life. And that has been actually reflected by the details which were given by the learned speakers. I also am thankful to the president, Professor Santosh Shukla from Sagar, Professor S.V. Chauhan, madam, from Mumbai, um, Dr. Binod Kumar Singh from West Bengal, Professor Mohan Panwar from Srinagar, Garhwal, Professor Uma Gole, Dr. Archana Singh, the learned daughter of Professor Sir, and all the other guests of honor, Professor Sarla Sharma, who gave such in-depth detail of the academic life of Sir, Professor Lancet from Kerala, then Professor Nandini Singh. I don't know, I could not see her here. In case she's here, thankful. I'm so thankful to her also. Everybody else who has joined from all the corners of the country, the observers from the distinguished observers and distinguished guests, Professor Ataur Rahman from Pakistan, uh, Professor Safdar Ali from Lahore, Professor Umesh Mangal from Kathmandu, Professor Islam from Dhaka, from all other learned professors from the other parts of the country and the world, um, and of course the organizers for giving me this opportunity and allowing me to have the insight to such learned senior geographers who are no longer with us, but their values, their education is a legacy of all of us who are in this particular field. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Anuradha Madam, for sparing your valuable time and gracing the event and expressing your views about the present platform. Thanks a lot for being there with us. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite Professor Nandini Singh Madam, former head and Department of Geography, RG University, Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh, and Vice President of NAGI, to express us.
Very good evening, greetings. Hello, Anuradha Madam. Nice
Hello,
to see
ma'am.
you after
Hello.
6 months.
Nice meeting you, seeing you here.
Namaskar, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Greetings from Arunachal. It's already very dark out here. Sunset has happened almost 1 hour back. So, but we are illuminated by this wonderful academic discussion. First of all, I express my gratitude and thanks to Professor D.P. Singh for again inviting me to this. And he actually called me personally and said, "You are going to be there." So thank you, sir. And congratulations also for the proposal of offline meeting, which is shortly coming up in June. That's a wonderful, I believe that will be a wonderful occasion to meet people who are virtually meeting. So as Professor Anuradha was saying, we really don't have much idea, especially I had met Professor D.P. Singh recently in Bodh Gaya, and there also, while delivering certain discussions, I came to know about a very learned geographer. And through this episode, as Madam Anuradha was saying, that many of the things we never heard, or as a geographer, I never knew. I have literally been benefited and learning so much. So today I was just listening, and lots was there to hear and learn from the very detailed illustration of Dr. Archana Singh, very learned daughter of Professor Shankar Roy, and also Sarla Sharma later on. I know her personally also. No, what I could get, it was so important, so significant that at that point of time, the kind of work or kind of contribution he was giving. So I believe while I was listening through, I just thought that let me just understand the various areas where he was trying to contribute. Obviously, one of the major areas was teaching and mentoring. The various contributions which he made through in the process of research of his research scholars who did their research work under him shows the variety and the dimension to which he has taken geography at that point of time. So I believe that if we'll focus on that, it is something very, very significant. All the patterns of the thesis titles I was looking through, and it shows the gamut. It shows the the dimension, or I would say it should. We can understand the vastness of his approach, which was so important. Today, if we look at it, I know this is something that is very, very important, particularly when we talk about research work by the faculty members. I also felt that this perhaps he took the department, what I could hear from the background. Of course, as I said, we people are new, and first time I'm hearing his name. So to be very honest, though I visited Raipur, I met many of the faculty, including Sharla Madam, Uma, everybody. But remembering people who established those departments, it's pretty difficult because we visit on certain occasions, either on conferences, seminar, or even on, taking exams or something, and then we do our job and we come back and have some nitty-gritty and kind of message. But this kind of discussions are something that really tells us how important the department has been. And I believe that Professor Shankar Roy, as a head of the department, had immensely contributed by means of monitoring, mentoring, and by giving directions. This is what I could gather from the entire lecture. As I was good, if I remember, he was also the warden. So obviously, not only in the classroom, but I believe beyond classrooms, his contributions are great. Because students today, as a student of geography and as a faculty of geography, when I look back, I can recall my teachers who have shaped me a lot. Perhaps at that point of time I never realized. But today, as a teacher, when I sit across the table and guide my own scholars, I feel this very strongly. Another very important thing which I felt that his connectivity with his root, I could hear that what I could gather that he belonged to a royal family and he was from a landlord's family. But his connectivity to the root is something that really tells us that how simple and how generous that person must have been. And also his total dedication towards giving new direction, new dimension to agriculture, to the people, taking it to the people is something perhaps we are looking now. When we talk about sustainable development, we talk about indigenous involvement, we talk about IKS. So I think this is the beginning where he must have started it without realizing that that is something to be so good. Or maybe he had that plans, we don't know. But as I always say, that if we want to contextualize this contribution in geography, we must take it up the line, we must take the cue and must try to connect it to the present. That would be my submission. I believe that Professor Shankar Roy contextualized the geography of Chhattisgarh into broader frame of geography.
Pragya,
This would be my submission. And also, I feel that the best honor, best जिसको हम बोलते हैं श्रद्धांजलि would be that
Pragya,
we continue to carry on that legacy by following the various finer points which I could gather from this lecture, especially talking about sustainable development or connecting indigenous people, to the root. Agriculture is our mainstay, it continues to be a mainstay, and we're having so much of problem now. So this kind of thing should be taken up, and I think this is wonderful. Knowing an academician connected to the root, connected to the land, becoming an agriculturist at the later part, going back to his village, which people rarely do because we are so used to our own life. He remains an icon. Today I've learned. And thank you so much, Dr. Archana Singh ji. I came to know you through this platform and also meeting so many other person. And as always, Dr. Devendra Prasad is doing a wonderful job. So nothing much to say. I keep talking to him otherwise also. Professor Rana Pratap sir, namaskar. Thank you so much for allowing me this time. And thank you, everybody. I believe that
Thank
I
you.
look forward to more episodes. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, Nandini ji. Thank you very much.
Ji, namaskar, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Nandini Madam, for joining us as a geographer from far east part of our country, Itanagar, and briefly concising about the importance of this particular platform and the way it is contributing towards the academia. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and
Thank
request you to be there with us all throughout the future episodes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
I would now like to invite our special guest, Ms. Josephine Dias, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Pipan, Goa. Professor Ms. Dias, madam, please.
Good evening to all distinguished professors on this forum. It's a great privilege to be amongst and thinkers and to be in the phase where we are remembering late Professor Shankar Roy. It was actually a great privilege to hear from his daughter, Professor Archana Singh, and then later Professor Sarla Sharma. And I thank Professor Devendra Singh for giving me this opportunity when I met him for the last DGIS conference at Gaya. This platform has given me an opportunity to come into contact with so many of the professors in this era and the late and my own contemporary geographers. What has touched me about Professor Shankar Roy as I was reading through his uh, the, the thesis and his little bit of information that I wanted before I joined this episode of this 58 makers, founders and makers of geography is that he was a professor and more to be a person who was down to earth because he was rooted to his field of agriculture. What touched me was that when he went back, he had his own kitchen garden. And today, as a professor of contemporary age, I would say in the age of AI, when we're talking about chat GPT and we're talking about online modes, I feel that agricultural geography is going to be the backbone of the country. And the onus of this lies on our shoulders that we have to show our children or our students that agriculture is going to be the way for future. Because as I was talking and with my colleagues just before I am supposed to join this session is that we might go back from books to agriculture and even though we are doing so much of technology, when we go back home, it is the food that we will be relying on. And what touched me about Professor Shankar Roy is that his thesis on values and his passion for agriculture. Though I was a little bit touched that he had a very short span of time after his retirement, but I pray to God that his soul rest in peace. His legacy lingers with us. And though I am very new to this big audience of learned professors, I would like to say only one statement that it is very easy to give examples, but very difficult to be an example. And I have found that Professor Roy has been a living example. Thank you, Savita Smita Madam. Thank you, Devinder Singh, uh, daughter of late Professor Shankar Roy, Archana Madam, Sala Madam, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Devinder Singh, for allowing me to be on this platform and saying a few words. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Josephine Madam, for your very apt remarks that in spite of having all the technologies, AIs and space satellites, etc., it is the agriculture, it is the food that is going to keep us alive. And you have very rightly pointed out, and Professor Roy sir has given his best this particular subject as a teacher as well as a farmer. Thank you so much, madam, for being. Now I would like to invite our special guest, Dr. Narendranath Guria sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Chaitanya Science and Arts College, Pamgar, Champa, Chhattisgarh.
Madam,
Dr.
namaskar.
Narendra, namaste.
First of all, respected to all distinguished guests, speakers, and dear students and research scholar, and also observer of South Asia Geographer Association. And especially, I say something for students and scholar. It is both an honor and privilege to stand before you today to pay tribute to a luminary whose contribution to the field of geography have left an indelible mark, not just a academic corridor of Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, but across India and particularly in the vibrant region of Chhattisgarh and also Madhya Pradesh. And I am talking about former Professor Shankar Roy, and who was a great teacher, not only teacher, also researcher and guide, and also a resource person of India. And his work in geography was truly remarkable. And he did not just teach geography; he shows his student how they understand the world and around them. And basically, this program today, why we need former founder and maker geography, especially for student and research scholar. First of all, understanding our world, and their work help us understand how the earth physical features affect climate, also ecosystem and human life and agriculture and another things, the solving global problem. Basically, geography helps address issues like climate change and agriculture, natural disaster, urban planning, and resource management. And also another thing, the promoting sustainable development. That is very important in this program, Founders and Maker Geography. And geography program teaches the how to use natural resources and wisely while the protecting the environment and inspiring future generation. Basically today's program is very very important for our students, and the foundation led by the scholar inspire students and researchers and to continue exploring and discovering and solving new challenge in the world. Professor Shankar not only saved geography as an academic subject but also made it powerful tool to understand and improve the world around us. And also, Professor Roy research focused on many important topics, and he studied the human geography and especially agriculture of India, and also especially Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh region. And he explored the natural features of our region, like forest agriculture, land use planning, and river management and land forms and population study. And his work help us understand how agriculture and industry, environmental changes and development impact our region, especially Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. And what made Professor especially was his love for teaching, and he always made his lesson interesting and full of real life example. And Chhattisgarh, with it is the rich diversity of forest, rivers, also mineral resource, become a focal point of his research, and he explored the environmental dynamics, the impact of industrialization, and in the sustainable development challenge faced by our region, and especially for our student beyond his scholarly achievements. Their Professor Roy's passion for teaching was he inspired generation of students look beyond textbook, not only, and also her research and very remarkable. And as a Professor Roy, geography is the a story of how human life with an art. It is very let's and keep his spirit alive by the learning more about our world. And before that, last of all, before I conclude, I would like to sincerely thank the organizer of this event, Dr. D.P. Singh sir, also our convener Chauhan madam, and also our respected president sir Santosh Shukla sir, and Rana Pratap sir. Namaskar sir, and for opportunity give me some things my knowledge and our and your effort in organizing this event have helped us and come together to honor the legacy of Professor Shankar Roy. And as a Professor Roy once said, their geography is the story of how human life with the
नहीं
art,
हुआ
and let us keep his spirit alive by learning more and more. And
नहीं हुआ
last
जी
of all, thank you to all organizer team, and also thanks to our respected Sarala Sarma madam, Uma Gole madam, namaskar, and all distinguished guests and my dear students. Thank you to all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Narendra Nath, sir, for your auspicious presence and brief comments on this episode. Thanks a lot for being there with us. I would now like to invite our observers from Saga, Professor Umesh Mandal, sir, Professor and Aide, Department of Geography, Central Department, Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. Professor Umesh Mandal, sir, please.
Thank you, madam. Today we have the 58 series of this online lecture regarding the founder and makers of modern geography in India. So this lecture today is devoted to Professor Shankar Rai, who was a former professor and head School of Studies in Geography, Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, India. So I would like to respect all the dignitaries, including President, Convener, Chief Guest, Coordinator. Welcome addresser, speaker, and the guest of honors, a special guest, distinguished guest, and observers from the Saga country, and especially the organizer, Professor Devendra Prasad Singh. So he started 3 years ago to this online lecture series regarding the contribution made by our senior forefather geographers who developed the geography and also developed the country through the knowledge of geography and technology and skills. So this lecture series is basically is a platform we new generations geographers came to know regarding the past. So in this work, I would like to thank Professor Chavan Madam as a convener, always working the hard work to manage this online platform very, very respectfully and then obviously. So today, this lecture is a Professor Shankar Rai. I came to know since I late to join this 58 series because of my own duties. So I came to know from the speaker and their contribution of the Professor Shankar Rai regarding their contribution of geography in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, as a development of the agriculture. So that is very basic and survival of our human beings on the earth. And he was a very honored and talk about the geography, to teach the geography at the different levels, to promote the students to be the skillful in the field of geographical knowledge. So this is the his contribution explained very nicely by today's speaker. So I would like to thank to regarding this. So this is very good platform to know each other regarding our subject geography, not only the India but also the SARC, Saga countries, the countries regarding the 8 countries among us. So we are very grateful to the organizer of this platform and the convener. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You are always there with us throughout, right from the first episodes. And your auspicious presence really keep us blessed. In spite of your very high profile and busy schedule, you make it a point to present in these episodes and give your brief and very apt comments. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Please keep us blessed. Now I would like to invite our intercessor, Dr. Devendra Singh sir, to please uh, say some any developments or
Thank you,
programs.
thank you, madam, very much. But before my some announcement, we have also one of our guest, Professor Lancet, madam from Kerala. So you must request first her for her remarks.
Yes, sir, please. Professor Lansett, madam.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
I'm
I'm
sorry for
audible. Yeah,
missing you.
sorry for the disturbance really. Because of weather disturbance in Kerala, I cannot join properly in time. But I was watching and listening the contribution made by Professor Shankar Roy sir, especially towards agriculture geography and his contribution to author of many books in agriculture geography. So actually, this time climatic changes in association with agriculture development is critically discussed among the geographers. So we should remember his contribution regarding agriculture geography, especially for sustainable development. So I heard that he was actually a powerful tool for this exploration, especially for forest agriculture. And that is a really rare topic discussed among the geographers. And I use this opportunity to thank all the group in Saga, our senior professors, to include me in this group and to pay tribute to the excellent professor and his contribution. And I thank everyone to give me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lanslick, Madam, for your brief comments and your auspicious presence on this platform. Thanks a lot. Dr. Devendra Prasad Singh, sir, please.
Thank you, Madam Convener, and respected President, Professor Anand Pratap ji. Our President of today's episode, Professor Santosh Shukla, could join us for a very short while, for 2-3 minutes, because he had to attend a funeral function of his very close relative. So he informed us that if it will be possible, he will join. Madam, we have some announcements. First of all, I have to bring notice of geographers from across the country and also outside that our 59th episode will be organized on the 13th of April this year, and it will be devoted to Professor H.S. Gupta of Raipur. One more professor from Raipur, Professor H.S. Gupta. Our 60th episode will be organized on the 30th of June, 30th of April this year, and it will be devoted to evolution of status of evolution and status of modern geography in Nepal. And our learned friend from Nepal, Professor Umesh Mandal, will be give us a detailed picture of evolution and status of geography in Nepal. Then we have to organize our 61st episode on May 11th this year, and it will be devoted to one very senior early makers of modern geography, who was the founder of geography department in Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, and he was Professor Qazi Muhammad. So we have the episode on the 11th of May. Our 62nd episode will also be devoted to one very luminary professor of geography, also from Jamia Millia Islamia, and he was Professor Majid Hussain. So we are going to organize our 62nd episode on Professor Majid Hussain on the 25th of May this year. Our 63rd episode will be organized on 8th of June this year, and it will be devoted to one very senior professor of geography, Professor P.S. Tiwari of Madras. And he is one of the very fine patron of our episode. And I am happy to bring your notice towards the fact that on the 27th of June this year, we are going to complete our 4 years journey. We have started it on the 27th of June, 2021, and this year, on the 27th of June, we are going to organize the fifth anniversary of our this journey. And as you know, that one of our friends from Udaipur, Professor P.R. Vyas, has given us a proposal to organize it offline on physical mode somewhere in Udaipur. The time and place and the venue and organizer will be announced later on after a detailed discussion from our senior people and from PRBS. So it will be the 64th episode, and it will be discussing the 4 year journey of our this program. And I am again very happy to bring your notice that we are going to organize a function on the 5th of September this year. That is the teachers on the occasion of Teachers' Day, and we will release 8 volumes of our series on founders and makers of modern Europe, India. And during my the last visit to Delhi after Holi this year, I visited several centers of geography in Delhi, including JNU, Delhi University, Jamia Millia, and several colleges. And I discussed with several people for their cooperation for organizing the release ceremony. And we are also trying that the president of this country uh, uh, to come to release our 8 volumes. And our friends in Delhi are approaching the president of the union to come over there to release our 8 volumes. So these are the informations, madam, and detail of these episodes will be announced very soon. So this was from myself, some announcements, and I am once again very thankful to all of you. And I again, once again request our friend Umesh Kumar Mandal for his lecture on evolution and the status of modern geography in Nepal on the 30th of April this year. So with these information, I have to thank you all once again. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Devendra.
One more thing, madam. We have lost 2 of our very senior patrons. Professor R.C. Dussa, who was my teacher in Magadam City, Bodh Gaya, and working in the Drake University of United States of America. He was of about 86, and he left us for his heavenly abode. So before our Rashtragan, we have to stand up for his condolence. And one more very senior professor, Professor Mumtaz Khan, and he was very much associated with our episode. He was a very senior professor of geography in Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. And both these two people were very much affectionate to us and very much helpful to us. So it will be our very foremost duty to observe condolence before the Rashtragan. Thank you, madam, very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Devendra Prasad Singh, sir, for having a series of events in a great marathon very soon of our episodes. And I'm really very much thankful to our president of our session, Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir, for being there with us as a strong pillar all throughout. And I would request Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir, President of our session today, to please give his presidential remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, madam. Friends, today I am very happy to know about Professor Shankar Rai. I was not knowing about him, and he was from Bihar. He was product of Patna University also. He did his PhD with Professor, my teacher, Professor Dasan. So what I say, he was my group friend, he was my group brother, and I was not knowing. So for this, I must convey my best wishes to Professor Devendra Prasad, who has organized these things, and we are just searching the important and very eminent personality, and we are making in light to know the coming generations of geographers, to know the real geographers and the contributors of geographers. So that so the episode which we are going through, that is being, it is very successful, and for this I appreciate all the persons, including Devendra Prasad and Madam Savita, and so many things that were making it success. One thing more, uh, actually, we are exposing the hidden world of geography. In the even in very important places, geographers are not being known. How much they have contributed, how they have helped in the growth of Department of Geography and geography itself. It is a great thing, and I am sure now that every corner the thanks are coming, appreciations are coming, that you all are doing the better works. So I have got satisfaction. Friends, actually, I hope and I pray to God that this attempt should continue. Today I am present in absentia of our friend Shukla ji. He is engaged somewhere else. He was not able to attend. So on behalf of his, and he came and requested us to continue. So we did so. So thank you again to Professor Shukla and so many important persons who have delivered on life sketch of Professor Roy, including his daughter Archana and Madam Sarala ji, our very good friends, and she is a very good geographer and very nicely she has done. So we are benefited today, and so I am very much highlighted. Very much I am appreciating the episode, and I am thankful to you all. I am very much moved to find all the things that how it is happening. This is good. This is good, and I pray to God that you should succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir. Thanks from the heart for accepting the presidency in absentia of Professor Shukla at the last minute and being there with us with your blessings. And what you commented as a presidential remark is very true. The same scenario is almost with all the geographers present here, that we are getting so much of knowledge of our earlier geographers and their contributions. Very rightly you have said that it is getting unveiled, that whatever was hidden all these years has been brought in front through the efforts of Dr. Devendra Prasad Singh, sir. Thanks a lot. Now I would request Dr. Shashi Bhushan, Senior Scientist, IRAD Patna from Bihar, to propose vote of thanks. Dr. Shashi Bhushan, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Honorable Chair and the galaxy of eminent geographers across South Asia. Good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion, the 58th episode of the online lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography in India, organized by the Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development, IRAD, Patna, Bihar. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Archana Singh, PD Government PG College, Chhattisgarh, for her insightful address on the academic journey of Professor Shankar Roy, former professor and head, School of Studies in Geography, Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Her reflections and profound knowledge have significantly enriched our understanding of modern geography in India. Dr. Archana Singh, the youngest daughter of late Professor Roy, concluded her address with memorable words: miles to go, from Robert Frost, and beautifully echoed through the Hindi translation by Harivansh Rai Bachchanji. Our sincere gratitude to Professor Sarla Sharma ma'am, former professor and head, School of Studies Geography, Pandit Ravishankar Shukla University, Raipur, for her gracious presentation on Professor Roy and her warm and heartfelt welcome address. Her words added immense value to the event, setting a thoughtful and respectful tone for the proceedings. A heartfelt thanks to our esteemed President, Professor Rana Pratap Sir, former professor and head of the Department of Geography, Magad University, Bodh Gaya, and former Dean of the Faculty of Science, for his guidance and leadership. Special appreciation goes to our dedicated convener, Professor Savitasmita Vilasrao Chavan ma'am, former professor and head of the Department of Geography, University of Mumbai, Maharashtra, and former president of Bombay Geographical Association, for meticulously planning and ensuring the smooth conduct of this session. We are also privileged. We are privileged to have had the presence of our esteemed guests of honor, Professor T.S. Lancelot, Professor and Head Department of Geography, Sri Sankaracharya University, Kerala, Professor Anuradha Sarma ma'am, former Professor and Head of the Department of Geography, University of Jammu, and Professor Nandini T. Singh ma'am, former Head of Geography, University, Arunachal Pradesh, and Vice President of NAGI. A warm thank you to our special guests, Mrs. Josephine Diaz ma'am, Associate Professor at the Department of Geography, QFM College, Goa, and Dr. Narendra Nath Guria sir, Assistant Professor at Department of Geography, Chaitanya Science and Arts College, Chhattisgarh. Our sincere thanks to our observers from SAGA, South Asia Geographical Association, Professor Umesh Kumar Mandal sir from the Department of Geography, One University, Bihar. A special mention to our intercessor, Professor Devendra Prasad Singh, former Professor, Department of Geography, Patliputra University, Patna, and Director of Research at the Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development, for his seed idea and execution of the episodes of this series. A sincere word of appreciation to our senior geographers of the country, like Professor Lokesh Srivastav sir from Jabalpur, Professor V.P. Satish sir from Mizoram, Professor Sardanand Chaudhary sir from Darbhanga, Dr. Ganesh Pathak sir from Balia, uh, and many others for their suggestions and continued support in many ways. Secretaries Dr. Ambrish Kumar Rai from VKSUR, Bihar, and Dr. Ravi Kumar Head, Department of Geography, Munger University, Bihar, and technical support to Dr. Dev Prakash ji from Magad University, Bihar, Bodh Gaya, Bihar, for their timeless efforts and coordination. Lastly, I extend my thanks to all the participants for their valuable presence. With that, I once again express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to making this event a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shashi Bhushan, sir, for your very remarkable and acknowledging vote of thanks to each and everyone present on this platform. Thank you so much. At the outset, we are really feeling sorry and apologize for not having the comments or views of many other senior geographers on this platform due to the limitation of the time. So kindly excuse us. And without taking much time, I request each and every one of us to please stand for condolence meeting, followed by Rashtragan. Condolence meeting for 2 minutes, please. In memory of late Professor Ramesh Dusa and late Professor Dr. Mumtaz.